Hi, I'm Mark. In this video, I'm going to show you how to install new valves on your L-head style engine. As part of the installation, I need to do what's called lapping the valve. To do that, I use some valve lapping compound or valve grinding compound. The compound has an abrasive in it that will wear the valve against the valve seat so we get a good seal. I take a small amount of the lapping compound and spread it around the face of the valve. Now I'll place the valve into the engine, and I'll use a special tool. This is called a valve lapping tool, and what it is a small suction cup on the end of a stick. The suction cup will stick to the valve and allow me to rotate it. And as I rotate, the lapping compound will cut the two faces so they're the same. I'll do this for about 10 to 30 seconds. That should be good. Now I can remove the tool, and I'll remove the valve. Now this next step is very important. Like I said, that compound is abrasive, so it's critical that I remove all the compound from both the valve and the seat, because if I left it in place, the abrasive compound would work through the engine and wear all of the components. With the lapping compound cleaned off of the engine components, now I can install the valve. I'll use some assembly lube. This is a thick, sticky grease that will lubricate all of these parts when I first fire up the engine after a rebuild like this. It's a good idea to use it, otherwise you'll have raw metal rubbing against metal and that'll wear the parts down. I'll insert the stem into the guide and I'll leave it sticking out for now. I'll place the valve keeper and spring back into the compression tool. Align them into the engine and press the valve down through them. I'll put the keeper back onto the valve and remove the tool. That takes care of the intake valve. If you need to do the exhaust valve, you'll do it in exactly the same manner. Now I'll reinstall the breather. I'll remove the old gasket and install a new one. Now I'll need to remove what's left of the old crankcase gasket so I can install a new one. You'll always need to replace this gasket whenever you take the engine apart. Next, I'll reinstall the tappets. Apply some oil to each of the pins and insert them back into the engine. Now I can reinstall the camshaft and the governor and oil slinger. I'll apply some more oil to the crankshaft journal, just in case I washed any of the oil away when I cleaned. And now I can install the camshaft. I'll install some oil onto the end of the shaft. I need to time the camshaft to the crankshaft. I'll rotate the crankshaft until the timing mark aligns with the location where I installed the camshaft. I'll locate the timing mark on the camshaft and align the two marks as I install it. Now I can install the governor and oil slinger. A little oil to the top of the camshaft, and this piece just rests on top of the cam shaft gear, and I'll align the opposite end with the governor arm. Now I'll apply some more oil to the crankshaft and I'll install the new sump gasket. And now I can install the sump. Again, oil on each of the journal surfaces. And I'll secure the sump cover with the bolts. First, I'll tighten each bolt just by hand. I'll refer to the service manual for the torque spec and the tightening sequence if there is one. Now I'll reinstall the head using a new head gasket. Again, whenever you disassemble the engine, you'll want to replace this gasket. Once more, I'll tighten each bolt just by hand and then refer to the service manual for the correct torque and the tightening sequence. Now reinstall the flywheel. And now the ignition coil. I'll connect the kill wire, and I'll set the air gap using a gapping tool or a business card. I'll pull the coil away from the flywheel and insert my gapping tool. Now I'll hold the coil tightly against the flywheel and the gapping tool and tighten up the screws. And I'll remove the gapping tool. And I'll just check the clearance. And now I can install the governor linkage. I'll reinstall the muffler. And now the blower housing. Now I'll reinstall the carburetor. Now the oil fill tube. And next, the fuel tank. And now the air filter base. Making sure that I reconnect the breather line. And I'll reinstall the air filter and the air filter cover. Now the engine cover and trim piece. And I'll finish by reinstalling the spark plug.